Jason Spengler, the SanteeSwapper here, back with another unboxing. Actually, right here in my warehouse, I've got my faithful dog, Scout, who's helping me today. She's an old girl who I rescued a long time ago. Actually, leaving camp, came across her and her sister when they were puppies. They were on the side of the road in a very, very rural stretch of road in South Carolina, the back roads of Marlborough County, if anyone would know where that is. And so we got her and had her for a long, long time. She's getting kind of up there in age now, so I like to bring her to the warehouse whenever I get a chance so she can have some company during the day and she doesn't have to be left at home by herself. So thank you, Scout, for helping. So my unboxing today, I have a collection that has items from a scouter and also from his dad. I believe his dad was a Silver Beaver honoree from his local council. That's kind of a cool thing. So let me grab these two boxes and open them for you, and would love to take a look at the history that's inside. Okay, I opened up the box and spread some things out here on my desk so I could share them with you. And in looking through the books, I found a little thank you note. And this is always kind of special when people include personal message like this in the unboxing. So I want to share this with you. My thanks again for forwarding Dad's Boy Scout accomplishments. I hope your future scouts appreciate the history of the past and wish them luck in your future. And again, this guy's name was Larry. So some cool things here. There's a how-to book of scouting, and then a really old handbook. This is a first edition. I believe it's the 35th, 31st printing. And according to this, the owner of this book received his Eagle Scout in 1944. This book was published in 39. And then there's another one here. This one is the fifth edition of the Boy Scout Handbook. And then this one is the sixth edition. This one was out during the 60s when a lot of scouts were doing their thing. And it's kind of funny how many times I see this scout with people like colored in his face or kind of like put a little graffiti on there. But these old scout books, these are the kind of things that I can recycle in person and try to give them to young scouts. To go to a young scout and say, hey, would you like a first edition of the Boy Scout Handbook that's almost 80 something years old? I think that would be kind of a nice gift. So this is kind of what I do when I talk about recycling items into scouting, is helping them find a new home, somebody who would appreciate it. I mentioned also that the father was a Silver Beaver recipient, and so here is his Silver Beaver medal. For those of you who are not familiar with the Silver Beaver, this is the highest award recognition that can be given to a volunteer scouter in a council. Typically, every year, maybe half a dozen. It kind of depends on the size of the council, but maybe 4, 5, 6 people are recognized and given the Silver Beaver. Just off camera, right there, I'm looking at mine. I received the Silver Beaver. Actually, this is kind of a little bit of an anniversary. I'm recording this on March 25th, and I got my Silver Beaver on February 25th of last year, and that probably sits there on my desk. So this is his Silver Beaver, along with some little cufflinks that go with it. And then also in here, there's another award. Some of you may or may not know what this is. This is an adult Catholic religious medal. And so in the Catholic Church, they have a program to promote scouting. And this was, I don't remember the name of it. I think Pelican or something. But that was one, obviously, that he was given. And then in the same bag, there's a couple of trail medals. So these medals that were given if you walked trails and maybe filled out the historical test or whatever the scavenger hunt was, that was the requirement then. And then a few pins, including this one here that looks like an assistant scoutmaster collar brass, which were they worn on their old uniform. So another little charm there. This is a Silver Beaver lapel pin that you could wear on your civilian clothes. So that is cool. Then we got a couple things here. I'll grab these. Some more uniform pieces, some socks here. Definitely a very, very vintage pair of pants. You can see that lining there with the old Scout. A couple neckerchiefs here. He was from the St. Louis area, and so that was 1960, the Jubilee then. And then the final thing, before I show you the last little interesting piece, is a bag of patches. So the guy that I got the collection from, I believe, was doing his scouting in the 60s, and then his father would have been obviously a generation before that. So I don't know if there'll be much in here from the dad, but definitely I can see a lot of stuff here from St. Louis, which is kind of where they were from. Again, position patch, I believe that one would have been commissioner of some type. Going to see a lot of event patches here, rank patches, position patches. Um, Cahokia Pilgrimage. Then you've got these, 1960, we already saw the Jubilee in 1960 when the 50th anniversary of the Scouts. And again, cool things like little trail patches. that I think are kind of fun. I wonder if this looks very military to me. I'll have to Google image search that. Says Thunderbird. That looks a little. And then this guy here, we saw the trail medal for that just a minute ago. So again, just love going through this old stuff, seeing these trail patches, some old merit badges. This is kind of what you would have if you were really involved scouter all during that time. You would have just random stuff, Thunderbird District. Here's one that was on a uniform, and here's one that was never sewn. So I'm sure that is an old St. Louis district. But then there is some Bridge Trail 13. Don't know what that is. Maybe that again, that's something I have to use Google to find out. And then there was a member of Shawnee Lodge, and so there are some vintage Shawnee Lodge items here. Now, Shawnee Lodge was always a very, very big lodge, being in St. Louis, and that council has just continued to kind of merge with other surrounding councils and kind of absorb them. So there's not a lot of stuff from Shawnee Lodge that's super rare, but then again, it's pretty old. This one's been sewn, come off a shirt, but that's an old Shawnee Lodge '08 pocket flap. So love looking through these little piles of patches here. Here's another trail patch I've seen before. Oh, here's cool. I love getting little camp patches. So this is Camp Curlix, Chief Okemos Council. I'm an old camp guy. I worked on camp staff a lot of years, so love seeing that stuff. And again, more. I mean, it's a 1950s OA activity patch. That is pretty cool. Fall reunion. All right, got one last thing to show you in this unboxing, and this is another thing that I know I'm going to be able to find a new owner for. As I film this unboxing, in about 10 days in Charlotte, I'm hosting a scouting memorabilia event we call the Charlotte Traderie. We've invited vendors from all over the Southeast to come and set up tables. Just last night, I went to two different troop meetings, actually a pack meeting and a troop meeting to promote this show. And so it's a cool thing. It's gonna be filled with scouting memorabilia. And for me, this is really an opportunity to then recycle items that I get in collections, like these books and like this. All right. I almost feel guilty if I recycle this box because the box itself is kind of a little bit of a time capsule. Look at the tape that's on this box. This came from National Supply Division. And there's even, of course, it was mailed to me, but even right here is the original address that it was sent to. And you probably already know what's in here, but let me pop it open and we will see. All right. A beautiful, well kept. I call them Scoutmaster hats, or you might call it a Baden Powell hat or Smokey the Bear hat. There's probably lots of names for it. Campaign hat, but this one is in just fantastic condition. I already know it doesn't fit. I peeked before I hit record. So this one, Boy Scouts of America official hat, literally looks like it's almost never been worn. It's just perfect around the edges here. It even says Scoutmaster, but the size is a 6 3/4, I believe. And so for me, that's just not quite going to make it with my big old head. So this is the kind of thing that, again, you want to let someone try it on, right? So in person, someone can touch this, feel this, and perhaps one of the adult leaders that comes to the traderie would be interested in getting this and wearing it proudly at their next scouting event. So that's where that's going. I might even have to let them keep the box too, because I think that's part of the history. So Jason Spengler, the SanteeSwapper. This is what I do. I have a warehouse in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I run this business out of. I buy collections from families, from estates, people who have scouting stuff sitting in their closets, sitting in their attic, sitting in a basement, sitting in a shed outside that they no longer have any use for. They may not have anyone in their family interested. If that's you, please reach out. Go to my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. I'll have all my contact information. You can email me, you can text me, or just pick up the phone and call me. I'd love to talk to you, hear a little bit of your scouting history, and make you a fair offer to purchase the collection. Thanks very much for watching.